Welcome to Music 101 with your host, Alexxis Steele on CNEU Rock Radio. Sponsored by Steele Entertainment and Records LLC for all your entertainment needs, and also Romeo Recordings. Find them both on the web at Steele Entertainment and Records LLC.com and RomeoRecordings.com.
Hi, this is Alexxis Steele with Music 101. It gives me great pleasure tonight to introduce Chachi from Pop Evil. How you doing, Chachi?
Alexxis, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great. I'm just enjoying the time we're doing right now, spending in the studio and working hard to get this new album out.
Okay, awesome. Well, Chachi, I want to give a little background on the band for our listeners. I guess the band was originally formed in 2001 by Lee Kakety from pieces of other Michigan bands. Is that right?
Yeah, it was right around 2001. Lee had kind of started, working up the scene in Grand Rapids, and then kind of pieced together some, different musicians. And when you do that in a band, obviously you start to find out, when you're serious and you start taking serious steps, you start finding out how serious and how, not serious some of the other guys are. So the band changed members a couple times, and as now we're in a much more serious, and everybody's in a committed lineup to make some major moves.
Right. So I guess after that they had an independent first record in 2004. 2007 they signed a management deal with G&G Entertainment, and their debut album was called Lipstick on the Mirror. That came out, 2008, right?
Yep, the band with Lipstick on the Mirror, they actually, after G&G was first, with George Cappellini and his son George Cappellini Jr., and Lipstick was actually released independently, and then recently after, the band signed to Universal, and the album was re-released.
So they 2009, that's when they signed with Universal, I guess, and Cherry Lane Publishing, too.
Yeah, that's correct. And then, obviously, since then, we have not stayed with Universal. We had some bumps and, some learning curves, and we've moved on since for the new album, with War of Angels being our second album. That was our last release, which was released kind of independently again, and then through E1. Okay,
were you with the band when they gave the fans a chance to pick their next single? And Breathe wound up being the winner, which charted at number 29.
I was not with the band with Lipstick, no. I actually joined shortly before War of Angels came out. But I am from Grand Rapids, and I've been longtime friends with most of the guys since, really close to their start, and definitely since, Breathe, and somebody like you was their first single locally that really kind of blew them up in the Michigan market.
Okay. So War of the Angels came out in 2010, right?
Yep, that's correct, July.
Okay, and I heard that the song Last Man Standing was featured on the NHL Network for the 2011 Stanley Cup Finals. That was on the Fox postgame show between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, we got a lot of really great placement. War of Angels in its entirety was a really huge statement album for us. Last Man Standing was all over the NHL and was featured, like you mentioned, in the NFL playoffs. And it was just it really was catapulted the band to, obviously we have a long ways to go, but it took us a serious national level where people were like, okay, this band's for real.
Okay, we're going to play Last Man Standing from Chachi Riot and Pop Evil, and we'll be right back on Music 101.
What's inside, everything comes and goes no matter where you hide. I won't let you take everything that I deserve. Timing is the melody behind.
Okay, cool. So you actually came into the picture in 2011 then, right? As
Yes,
a fill-in drummer for Dylan Allison, who had emergency surgery for a fractured vertebrae in his neck. And
you know what?
they didn't know
War
how
of
long.
Angels. I'm sorry, War of Angels came out in 2011. I joined about 2 months before the album was released.
Oh, okay. So were you there to witness when they had the contract from Universal being torn up by the band at a concert in Columbus, Ohio?
I was not playing in the band. I joined, literally like a couple of weeks after that show at Rock on the Range.
Oh, wow. So I guess that must have been really an epic moment there, you know?
Yeah, that was a huge, when you sign a deal, especially to, someone like Universal, you kind of think like you've made it, and in your head you're like, this is it, we're going to be rich and famous. And what we learned was we signed and we did a new album, and they told us that it wasn't good enough. And so it was quite a roller coaster ride. We've really been through some ups and downs, and we're just glad to be here and still be fighting.
Well, I know Spin Magazine called the ripping up of the old contract and announcing the new one in front of tens of thousands of fans as one of the 10 best moments of rock and roll, Rock on the Range. So that was awesome. Must have been very liberating for them.
That was awesome. Absolutely. That's a very, humbling experience, and we're really excited to be back again this year, going back to Rock on the Range.
Okay. So do you feel that the band was frustrated by the major label route like so many other bands are?
I think maybe, there's frustrations across the industry, but I think definitely, we felt like we'd come out, they had signed us what we were doing, and we made an album that we thought was really great, and they told us that, basically that they didn't believe in it and that it wasn't good enough, which would have been the War of Angels album, which has since then had 4 singles and 3 of them gone top 10. So yeah, when they, we're a little bitter, but I feel like, both parties are still benefiting. We're doing okay, and obviously Universal's still fine, but it was definitely a frustrating experience at the time, and we've learned and, moved on since.
Okay, so now who is in the current lineup, Chachi?
The current lineup is Lee Kakati and Dave Gross, which are 2 from like the beginning original members, from even before it was Pop Evil. And then Matt Doritos is on bass, and Matt's been with the band since 2004, so before ever, he's also an original member. And then myself and Nick Fueling round out on drums and lead guitar. And Nick has been in the band for about a year. Our last lead guitar player had, for some personal issues, decided to leave the band. And Nick and I have been friends for about 10 years. So Nick stepped in and has done an awesome job of filling that spot, and his playing will be heard on this new album.
That's awesome. So who were your musical influences?
I probably have the most diverse influences of the band. My iPod is everything from, Bob Seger and Skinner to Garth Brooks to, I have the new Frank Ocean and New Maroon 5 album, to bands like, relative rock like Shinedown, back to Aerosmith and Def Leppard and Guns N' Roses and Zeppelin and all the predictable greats of all time. I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan on a personal level. I'm all over the place. I'm still very much proud to be a huge fan of music, very much.
Well, that's cool. That is definitely pretty diverse, and
I actually
like that myself.
Yeah,
all over the map.
People, and some of our fans, they get floored by it. Like somebody today even was asking me, what am I listening to? And I was like, the most recent album I bought was the band Perry album. And they're like,
oh, really?
Like the Chick Singer country band? And I was like, I really like the new single, so I bought the whole album. And it's a great album. So I'm all over the place. So that's like a weekly flavor of the day or flavor of the week for me when it comes to music.
Right. That's very cool. Well, I know that you had filmed the video for Monster, which was actually co-wrote by Mick Mars, right? And he made an appearance in the video with...
Boss's Daughter was with Mick Mars.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Our single Boss's Daughter, was co-written with Mick Mars, and he's in the video, yes.
Okay, so it was Boss's Daughter. Okay, so it wasn't Mons. Okay, and wasn't the Miss July 2011 Playboy Playmate, too, in it, Jessa Hinton?
Jessa Hinton was also in it. That was a great time, and if there's one way to keep musicians focused when there's 10 playmates around, it's easily to throw Mick Mars in the group. It was that was... it's already happened, and I still look back and just can't believe that, as being grown up as a huge Motley Crue fan, to just spend a day basically with Mick Mars. It's awesome.
Oh, I bet that was definitely a good time.
He was such a nice guy. I can't say enough good things about him as a person. Just awesome experience.
We're going to listen to Boss's Daughter, and we'll be right back on Music 101.
She'll put a bullet in your heart just to feel the thrill. She walks like she's walking on water. She moves like a boss's daughter. She rides like a 67 Chevy in a drop-top red, white and blue. Oh, what she does to me. With the long dark hair and a sexy face, baby, let me come inside. 'Cause she's hell on heels. And she turns my wheels with the devil smile and her angel eyes. She got me all hypnotized, and she's hell on heels. That girl needs somebody like me, a real man born with the sex degree. I was raised by the devil's own kin. Told me that a good time was never a sin. She walks like she's walking on water. She moves like a boss's daughter. She rides like a 67 Chevy in a drop-top red, white and blue. Oh, what she does to me. With the long dark hair and a sexy face, baby, let me come inside. 'Cause she's hell on heels. And she turns my wheels with the devil smile and her angel eyes. She got me all hypnotized, and she's hell on heels. I love the way she moves those heels from hell. The lunch breaks lead to drinks and cheap hotels. I'm just another guy she burned inside her fire. I'd sell my soul for her desire. With the long dark hair and a sexy face, baby, let me come inside. 'Cause she's hell on heels. And she turns my wheels with the devil smile and her angel eyes. She got me all hypnotized. She's hell on heels. And she's hell on heels. She's hell on heels. You got me with your devil smile and her angel eyes. She got me all hypnotized. She's hell on heels.
Okay, for our listeners, we're going to take a listen to Monster You Made, and we'll be right back with Chachi Riot on Music 101.
Take a good look at me now. Do you still recognize me? Am I so different inside? This world is trying to change me, and I admit I don't want to change with it, and I admit I can't go on like this anymore. Erase this monster I become. Forgive me for all the damage done. It's not over. Say it's not over. I'm begging for mercy. I'm only the monster who made me. I'm better alone now. See, I'm torn from my mistakes, and I stop believing that I could ever make things change. How much can I take when I know that it hurts you? How long can I wait when I can't go on like this anymore? Erase this monster I become. Forgive me for all the damage done. It's not over. Say it's not over. I'm begging for mercy. I'm only the monster you made me. 'Cause who I am isn't who I used to be. I'm not invincible. I'm not indestructible. I'm only human. Can't you see the beauty in me? Take a good look at me now. Can't you see I've changed? Erase this monster I become. Forgive me for all the damage done. It's not over. Say it's not over. I'm begging for mercy. I'm only the monster you made me. The monster you made me. I see the demons falling far away through the pain. I hear angels calling far away through the pain. I see the demons falling.
Yeah, very cool. So I like the fact that the band believes in developing, you're following the hard way from the ground up.
Yeah,
I read
we
that,
really
and
have.
That's very cool because do you think that nowadays bands want the fast track to success in this digital age without really having to do all the hard work?
I don't want to say that bands are intentionally skipping hard work, but our bands definitely are trying to find a fast track, and I think that's in everything in the United States, especially. You know, we want fast food, and we want fast paychecks, we want fast cars, we want hits, and we want them now. But we've really taken the approach. You know, I think a lot of things in the industry have changed and morphed, and I think the one thing that hasn't changed is that people still like live shows, and I mean, not any mention to try to toot our own horn, but we hit the road more than any band I've personally ever met. I mean, we played, I want to say 265 shows last year, which puts us on the road about 300 days a year. And we just, you know, that's how you make a living. We don't have pop music and top 40 support. And, you know, we get out there and we just grind. We just play and play and play, and we live and die by our live show.
Mm-hmm. Well, you definitely toured with a lot of bands like Drowning Pool, Papa Roach, Finger 11, Three Doors Down, Puddle of Mud, Theory of Dead Man. So, you know, you played with some pretty, you know, heavy-hitting rock bands.
Definitely. We have a great, I guess, portfolio, you could say, of, you know, like you mentioned, all those bands, and kind of, you know, zoning all the way from Three Doors Down to Tesla to Five Finger Death Punch and Killswitch Engage. I mean, we feel like our songs and our show is, you know, we'd like to think we're good enough to play with anyone, and that's our goal, is to just, we don't want to just limit ourselves and put ourselves in a box. We want to play music for the masses and get out there and work hard and write good songs and put on a good entertainment show for everybody.
So you had released your, I guess it was your fourth single, Purple, and it debuted in Canada with Black Label Society?
Yep.
Take a listen to Purple by Pop Evil, and we'll be right back on Music 101.
Such a beautiful color. Wear a upon your skin in the perfect shade of purple on a flower permanent. And I'm constantly reminded of a past that never bloomed. As I sit behind these bars, only silence fills the room. I've never been down this road before. As the days go by, I only miss you more. I thought one day we would touch the sky, never grow up, never gonna die. I never realized what you meant to me till I tried drowning out your memory. But it burns bright like it's not over. It only hurts when I'm sober. Such a beautiful color I wear upon my skin, in the perfect shade of purple on a flower permanent. And I'm constantly reminded of how I should have changed. And now I can't stop thinking about the love that slipped away. It slipped away. I've never been down this road before. As the days go by, I only miss you more. I thought one day we would touch the sky, never grow up, never gonna die. I never realized what you meant to me till I tried drowning out your memory. But it burns bright like it's not over. It only hurts when I'm sober. That I ever wanted. You're all that I needed. And now I'm spending a lifetime drowning without you. I'm starting over and over again. Such a beautiful color you wear upon your skin, in a perfect shade of purple on a flower permanent. I've never been down this road before. As the days go by, I only miss you more. I thought one day we would touch the sky, never grow up, never gonna die. I never realized what you meant to me till I tried drowning out your memory. But it burns bright like it's not over. It only hurts when I'm sober. I've never been down this road before. As the days go by, I only miss you more. I thought one day we would touch the sky, never grow up, never gonna die. I never realized what you meant to me till I tried drowning out your memory. But it burns bright like it's not over. It only hurts when I'm sober. It only hurts when it's over.
So, what are you guys working on right now? Are you touring right now?
We are actually in studio. We're on the last couple-week leg of completing what will be our third full-length album. Will be released under E1 and, of course, G&G management with George. And we actually internally announced the new single today. So that's really huge news, and the band is really excited. And we're excited to get the single and obviously the entire album out, and we'll be back on the road in March.
Okay, so you'll be back on the road in March. So where's your tour going to be starting in March?
When we kick off in March, we are playing kind of all over, basically the eastern half of the United States, everywhere from Kansas to, I think it kicks off in Huntsville, Alabama. We're in Missouri. We're in Michigan, Illinois. We're kind of bouncing all over this side of the Midwest and the South. And we have shows with Trapped, and otherwise we'll be on the tour with us, some great guys from Vegas. And we're also doing a few dates with Seven Dust, I believe, which are awesome friends of ours. And a huge shout out to them and their new album. Those are great guys.
That's awesome. So how long do you anticipate being out on the road?
Honestly, I told my girlfriend and my mom, the two ladies in my life today, were asking me, when we leave in the middle of March, when I'll be back. And I told them straight up, I was like, I wouldn't expect me back before Christmas time. If we have a day or here or two there off, we won't be taking any breaks before the holidays. Our job is to get out there and play songs and play shows, and that's what we'll be doing definitely up until I would say close to Christmas, at least Thanksgiving.
Wow. So how hard is that? It must be really hard. I mean, so you're away from your family that long? Does your girlfriend go along for the ride, or, she stays at home? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's definitely really difficult. And you got to have a lot of trust. And, like you said, girlfriend, whether it's your girlfriend or your brother or your mom or your grandma, everyone misses someone a lot. And you kind of live through, if you have the opportunity to see each other, or, maybe if we have a day off, or, if they have a day off, then you fly your mom or girl out to see us. If we play in the area, we're all from Michigan. So if we're anywhere near Michigan or Indiana or Illinois, Wisconsin, we try to get the family to carpool together, maybe a few of our moms or dads, or, carpool out together to see shows. And it can be anywhere from, 2 to 5 weeks before you see each other. So thank God for the iPhone and FaceTime today.
Yeah, really, right? Modern technology has made life a little bit easier in that regard, right?
I definitely don't know what I would do without. I hate to feel like a spoiled new technology kid, but the way that we tour, I couldn't imagine. I try to still write letters to keep that nostalgic feel alive, and I like doing that. But it's definitely nice to have text messaging and picture and video messaging and FaceTime, at our hands for the most part.
Sure, absolutely. I don't doubt that. So, as far as now your new CD, do you have the name for your new CD already, or is this all under wraps for now?
We really don't. If we did, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you honestly, but we honestly really don't. We've kicked around a couple ideas, and there's somewhat of a potentially underlying concept. It's definitely, I wouldn't call it a concept album, but it is to me very much a statement album. We were kind of underrated and written off in a lot of ways, and a major label threw us away, and some other stations didn't want to give us a chance. And I definitely feel like we haven't taken the easy road, and I'm really proud to be where we are. So I think that's going to reflect in this album. I think this album sounds, some of the reviews we're getting internally are, this sounds more mature. This sounds like, the best music that we've written. Lee is writing some of the best lyrics and melodies he's ever done. I just feel like we've grown and matured, and we're at a new level with this album. I'm really excited for it.
That's great. I actually saw Pop Evil. That was prior to when you joined the band. Must have been around, I think, between 2006 2007, at an outdoor event for Guitar Center, a Guitar Center grand opening.
Okay, yeah. I was not, but I know that they got kind of their start on national touring was they were doing quite a few Guitar Center openings. So I've heard a lot of the stories, and occasionally I get the awesome fans who like to come out and have a really good time and say, I saw you play at this Guitar Center. And I was like, nah, I wasn't there, man. No, I saw you. And I was like, man, Dylan's bald and 6'5", and I'm little and have a lot of hair. So it's never a dull moment, that's for sure.
Well, I thought the band was really great, and
thank you.
So do you feel that the music has evolved? So you feel the music has evolved a lot since the early days?
I really think so, and that's not to say anything negative about the band. Even when I was in it before this album, I think that we have a little new. There's new people in the band. There's a new sense of cohesive energy. It's different. You can't replace the drums, which are the backbone of the band, and your lead guitar player, and expect the band to sound the same. It's not going to happen. I'm really excited for people to hear the new stuff. It still sounds like Pop Evil. I don't want people to think we've changed and we sound like a new band, but I'm really excited. And some of the radio personnel and close friends we've had in, we let them hear some of the demos even before Lee had sang on it, and people were just like, this sounds amazing. They're like, this sounds like more than we ever expected. And there's a lot of excitement in our camp right now, definitely.
That's great. So what do you think about how the music industry's changed over the years with the digital age, the waning of the CDs and CD stores and everything, pretty much digital? Do you think that that's hurt or helped?
Well, it's a hard conversation to have, in a short interview, but I definitely miss, CD release parties and bands going into FYE and signing and playing a live show. And I love owning CDs. I'm dating myself as being still pretty young, but I've always been a CD kid. And I think the digital age has done one major thing people kind of maybe don't appreciate. Before, even like the 70s and 80s, there were a lot. People were like, if my band was around then, we'd be famous right now and rich. And it's easy to say that. We've had 5 singles on the radio. And we're like, well, if we had 5 singles in the 70s, it'd be loaded. But in the 70s, there were a lot fewer bands making a lot more money. I think nowadays it's a lot easier for a lot more bands to make a living. And maybe you're not billionaires, but that's not what it's about. It's about being able to provide for yourself and play music for a living. And I think the digital age has helped that. It definitely has affected people's attention spans, and there's things that I miss about it, but I don't think iTunes hurt the music industry. I definitely think things like Spotify and stuff like that has negatively somewhat affected the industry, but it's not something we sit back and complain about. You work around it, and in my head, if you're a good rock band, it doesn't matter what you're doing on iTunes. If people are going to come see you play live, that's what matters to me, is how many people are at my show. So.
Okay, no question about that. You singled out Spotify. What is it about Spotify that you feel has hurt?
Well, Spotify, a lot of people are just, know, and it's our job to educate people because they're not educated in terms of revenue. Spotify allows you basically to select the songs you want to hear without purchasing them because you pay a monthly dividend. But the amount of money a band sees from Spotify on a monthly or even, annually basis is very minimal.
Your royalties, you mean?
Yes, the royalties. It takes tens of thousands of plays to see like $1.
Wow.
Whereas iTunes may be, killing CD sales, but at least if you buy my song or, any band song, and I don't care who it is, if you like a band, please buy their music. Like, you don't understand how much that affects, their future and their lives. It's only 99 cents. And that makes a big difference for us. It really does. So I don't think negatively too much. And people don't know more than anything. It's not an industry that people work in, so they don't understand how it operates. And it's our job to help spread the information. I want everyone to support music of whatever band that is. If you don't like Pop Evil, that's fine. If you're into whoever it is, Justin Bieber, just buy his music. Don't steal it.
So what is the band's long-range goals? Do you have any plans for the future, something that you'd like to do that you haven't done?
Yeah, we have definitely, we're a very goal-driven band. For starters, we're excited to have a single off this album. That's our first goal. Let's get this single out and get it released and get it charted. We still haven't had a number 1 song, so that's definitely in the back of our minds. It's like if you're an NFL team, you can brag about going to the playoffs every year, but if you never won the Super Bowl, does it really matter? That's kind of how we feel about that. There's still new markets, and I think the goal is, I would love to see some personal goals, at least for me. I would love to see some cross-genre touring. I miss the days, 1-2 I frequently I reference in interviews as like when Skid Row and Pantera toured together. And I want to see more of that. I would love to see Pop Evil tour with, we just did Five Finger Death Punch, and that was pretty great. I would love to see Pop Evil tour with, Jason Aldean, something different. Why not mix it up and give people an entirely different experience every night? So many goals. We're from Michigan. I would love to play Van Andel Arena. I could go on and on. There's definitely bands we'd love to tour with, and it's a never-ending, battle of complete one goal and let's set another one and chase the next one. So.
What advice would you give to new artists that are trying to break into the music industry?
There was a couple of pieces of advice that were given to me, and a couple of my own. The first thing I was ever told, it's probably the best piece of advice I've ever been given on music. When I talked to a good friend who was a pretty successful musician, and I told him, this is what I wanted to do, he told me to quit. He told me to give up, and he told me to just go home. And at first, I was really angry about it, and I couldn't believe why he would say that. And now looking back, I realize that's probably the best piece of advice you can tell somebody new. Because if that's enough to make you quit and go home, what you're about to endure is going to be much, much worse than that. It's not for the faint of heart. Other than that, though, on a really serious note and a really overlooked note, if you're a local band, a new band coming up, and you're trying to make a difference, the biggest pieces of advice I would give are, work hard to develop a local following. Stop trying to tour nationally because you're not supported nationally. Just build a grassroots following. And then the next piece of advice is save your money for a pro quality recording to do a song. It's better to have one or two great songs than have 15 not, average or below average songs. Those are two mistakes local bands make that I would love to try to educate people on.
Right, because nowadays it seems to be the norm with bands putting out EPs and not putting so many songs on their discs like they used to.
Absolutely. Bands today are getting famous with one song, and it used to be you had a good album, and that's not the case anymore. So play that to your advantage. Go spend the money on one song and do it right. Make it a great song.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Chachi, again, so where can people find the band and find your music?
You can find us at facebook.com/PopEvil, obviously. We're on Twitter, PopEvil Music. Our website, which I believe is being redone right now, but it is PopEvil Music, or PopEvil.com. That's the .com. But yeah, we're on Facebook every day. That's the Twitter every day. I mean, the band runs that. We're tweeting and posting goofy pictures, and the Facebook is all us. That's not fake stuff. So hit us up on there, and we'll do our best to respond. And obviously, our personal pages. Matt and I are both on, and Nick are all on Twitter, and I think I'm the only one on Facebook. But feel free to look us up and hit us up. We're just normal people who'd like to have a good time and have a couple of drinks and talk about music.
Oh, that's very cool. Because a lot of artists, they have somebody else running their pages, but you, your band and everybody is actually running your own pages.
Absolutely. We've actually had multiple times where we get yelled at by management for what we post. They say, if you guys are going to post this kind of stuff, we're going to have to start overlooking everything. And we're like, man, we're adults. We'll do what we want. It's kind of like, they got to keep us in check, and we can get a little rowdy at times. But yeah, that's all of our stuff's band ran, and we're very proud to be very hands-on with our fans.
Well, that's great. That's great to hear, instead of having somebody else run for you. So they really are getting you and getting that personal touch.
Absolutely.
Of connecting with your fans. Chachi, do you have any shout-outs?
Just to you guys, thank you so much, Alexxis, for having us on, and all the listeners out there supporting us and supporting any band's live music. Keep buying albums, keep buying singles, whatever you like, and keep going to shows. I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, we definitely look forward to your new CD and hearing your new music and getting out to see some shows.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Chachi, thank you so much for speaking with me tonight, and you have a great evening.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Thank you. Take care. This is Music 101, and you're listening to CNEU Rock Radio with Alexxis Steele.